Hello friends, good day, good morning or good evening, whatever. Welcome again to my channel, and today we will be discussing what is the difference between missed approach procedure and go around procedure, which is sometimes called bulk landing procedure. Okay, we are currently now near the Split airport, which I assume is a good example to explain the difference between these two procedures. Let's jump to the cockpit and I will show you the map. For situational awareness, we are currently flying to Lasso Point, enjoying the holding over the lasso while we are preparing the airplane for the landing. Anyway, the difference between misapproach procedure and bulk landing procedure is really simple, and I would like to explain it with the simplest way as I can possible. Currently we will be flying approach, non-precision approach VOR Bravo for runway 23. If you are flying an IFR flight, especially within the IMC conditions, and you are entering the cloud during your approach, you are going to decision altitude. At the decision altitude within precision approach, like this category 1 approach ILS, if you see the runway, you are good to land and you are able to land. If you do not see the runway, you are performing go around and following the missed approach procedure. If you are flying non-precision approaches, this type of approaches is, for example, LNAV approach, VOR approach, NDB approach, whatever. And you can fly this type of approaches via visual descent point. In this case we are using decision altitude as well, or you can fly to minimum descent altitude, level the airplane and wait for the missed approach point. This is the last point. At this point, if you can see the runway, you theoretically can perform the landing, and if you don't see the runway, again you are following the missed approach procedure. At the most of the airports, missed approach point in non-precision approaches are really close to the airport, so you hardly will be able to land at the airport. But we are going to discuss what is the difference between missed approach point and bulk landing procedure. If you can see on the Split VOR Bravo runway 23 chart, this is the non-precision approach, this is the VOR approach, and our missed approach point is exactly Split VOR. In this case, during the approach we level the airplane at our minimum descent altitude, which is 2040 feet. We will level the airplane and wait for the missed approach point, which is exactly Split VOR, and if we see the runway on our left side, we can continue visually. If we don't see the runway, we will execute the missed approach point and proceeding via radial 1 to 3 from Split VOR to Humac NDB, enjoying the published holding pattern and climbing to 5000 feet. If we see the runway, we are good to go and we will proceed visually with the heading, or let's say within the radial 049er from Split VOR to DME 3.4 and start to turn our base leg. And now the bulk landing procedure is the procedure which we are performing in this visual part of the approach. Sometimes it can happen on some airports that you are good to go, you have visual references, you have clearance to land, and suddenly or accidentally strange things could happen. For example, another airplane entered the runway without the clearance and you will perform the go around, but your misapproach procedure is far away behind you. In this case, you are not protected with 2.5% of climb gradient, and that will be risk that you hit the obstacles or terrains in front of you. In this case, we are using the Baulked landing procedure, and as I said before, the split airport is good example of what is the Baulked landing procedure. Baulked landing procedure occurs during our visual phase of the flight. If we lose the first point, if we lose our visual references, we do the Baulked landing procedures. If we are unstable during short final, we will execute Baulked landing procedure, and if there is some problem, as I said before, accidentally the airplane enters the runway without the clearance, we need to execute the Baulked landing procedure, or tower tells us whatever call sign we have, Transavia, KLM, go around. In this case, we are going around and we will execute Baulked landing procedure. Here in split, it simply says that is go around procedure, and it is different from misapproach procedure. And this go around procedure tells us that after passing VOR, which is visually, turn left 229er heading, climb straight ahead to Drvenik NDB to 3000 feet and hold. You see the difference? The missed approach altitude is 5000 feet and go around procedure, or let's say Baulked landing procedure altitude, it's 3000 feet. Okay, let's jump to our to our approach preparation. As the first, we put on nav setting split VOR, which is 115.7. On nav setting on both sides, on active sides. If you are performing visual VOR approach or non-precision approach, put as well your nav setting into your AFIS panel. So VOR on number 2, and we will prepare for our Baulked landing procedure Drvenik NDB, which is on frequency 418. As well on active side, do not forget on AFIS panel, in order to see the needle. And as you can see, we have positive confirmation of our radio setting. VOR is here, Drvenik NDB is here. In this case, we have now setting properly set. The next point is to put final approach course for our approach, and this is 019er inbound course to split VOR. Set on MCP. We will set our minimum descent altitude on Barrow, which is 2040. Is set. For our airport, we are quite low on weight. I will put auto brake 2. And we will put our VRF speed. It will be 1 to 9, and our approach speed, as we have zero wind conditions, will be 134. Okay, this is all about the navigation setting, MCP setting, and FMC. I will set up the FMC departure arrival page a little bit sooner. But anyway, be aware of the fact that in real life, put as much as possible informations into your FMC, especially fixed page, and as well on your nav setting, because you really need them in case of something happen. In this case, I will put into the fixed page split VOR, and as you can see, we have depicted on the chart do not cross circle of DME 4.6 / DME 4.6, and that means for us that we are not allowed to overshoot this circle. Another point is to put Drvenik NDB is Delta November Victor into the fixed page, and as you can see, the published holding is inbound course 053 and with the right turns. In case we are unable to fly it L now, we can make it manually via heading select. I guess it is teardrop entry, and hold over the published holding within the minimum holding altitude of 3000 feet, and double verification is with the go-round procedure Drvenik NDB 3000 feet and hold. So we have properly set our navigation settings, and in this case I think that we are well prepared enough, and we can start our approach and bulk landing procedure. In this case, I will reset MCP altitude, and we can go directly from Lasso Point into 2500 feet altitude to DME 5 from split VOR. So 2500 feet is pre-selected. We may exit hold, execute, and after lasso we will descend into 2500 feet. As you can see, we have quite nice weather, so I assume that we will not perform the missed approach procedure, and we will perform visually, and for demonstration we will do go around, let's say bulk landing procedure, and fly to Drvenik NDB. Always do not forget to put the heading back into the direction which you would like to fly. Okay, in our case I will start to decelerate the airplane right now. L now is working very nice and in a very proper way. So we are reaching 2500 feet. For time being we are not doing the continuous descent technique or idle descent. We will level the airplane at 2500 feet, as you can see, and arm the localizer. Localizer is captured. Missed approach heading 019 is set. flaps 5. Oh, sorry. And we can pre-select next altitude, which will be our minimum descent altitude of 2040. In aviation, always put it on the more conservative side, so 2100. In our case, just for demonstration, not to be high, I will put 2000 feet. Gear down, flaps 15, armed speed brakes, start switches to continuous. And we can put altitude hold. And what I put here as well to the fixed page, radial 09er. Okay, we can go down to altitude 2000 feet, vertical speed, and watch the green banana, it's called, and we will level the airplane before the split VOR, just to configure the airplane for our final approach configurations, which is 530. So now we have landing checklist complete, we are holding on flaps. As we can see, the split airport is right over here. We are lucky because we are visually, and we are good to go for our visual approach. Okay, we have 2000 feet, our minimum descent altitude, and missed approach point is split VOR. In this case, put flap 30 and VREF, sorry, approach speed is 134, as I said before. And the basic idea, we are fully stabilized and checklist is complete, and assume we've got a landing clearance. Okay, we are approaching split VOR. Pre-select heading 049er, which will follow our radial from split. And we are over at split, put heading select. And we are starting our turn. At this time we are visually, so we can pre-select it our bulk landing altitude or go around altitude 3000 feet. Another thing is what is said on the chart. DME 3.4, we can start turn. If we are DME 3.4, we will start our left base to runway 23. Split tower, okay. Sorry, split city. Okay, 3.3. We put our bulk landing heading 229er. It's over there. And now we can disengage the autopilot. fly the airplane manually. Recycle flight director switches. This is very crucial for our non-precision approach, and I will deselect the speed in order to have full control of the thrust, and I have underspeed protection and automatic go around thrust. Okay, watch always the trend vector.
Approaching minimums.
This is the trend vector.
Minimums.
Now we can see the split airport, and we see that we are quite high over the profile. So let's say that we are unstable on the approach. We are high. I can go down, I can make it, but just for your demonstration purpose, I will be high. Okay, so we are high. In real life, in the flight simulator we can make it still now, but in real life it's impossible to make the landing from this altitude.
500.
So we are high on profile. That means if I can focus on the touchdown point, we cannot make it. We will land approximately far away behind the touchdown zone. So go around, flaps 15, positive rate of climb, gear up, 400 feet, we put the heading select, and watch the needle as we are going to Drevenik and DB. We have 800 feet, so flaps 5. As we have flaps 5, go to flaps 1 and watch the needle as we are going directly to Drevenik. Flaps up. I will put the vertical speed 1000 feet per minute and autopilot engaged command. Okay, landing gear up and off, start switches back to off position, and now we are on heading select to Drevenik. What you can do now is Drevenik NDB, as we have pre-selected it. Okay, it's not going right there, so put it here, execute, L now, go to hold page, next hold over the Drevenik, and 051 with the right turns. Execute, and now our Baulked landing procedure was successful. We enter the holding pattern, or if you have air traffic controller, for example a split radar, we can make radar vectors back to lasso point and go for another approach. In our case, we enter the procedure holding, and from this holding we can prepare the airplane for re-landing and for another approach. I hope you like this video and see you next time soon. Have a nice day. Bye bye.